Hey, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. We're back with another video, and this time we're diving into some of the already crazy RLCS offseason roster changes. Just as a precursor, there's going to be a whole lot of these, and the easiest way to stay up to date is in the description down below. Go check out the RLCS roster doc. We update this as frequently as we can. We did update it today when recording this video on the 18th, so we've got some new stuff. We're going to be updating, obviously, and keeping you guys up to date more on the 2025 stuff, but we do have stuff on the rumor side as well as the confirmation side with dates next to it to keep you guys up to date going on with stuff. I have the hiccups. This is going to be a very difficult video to record. With that in mind, we've got 4 or 5 things to talk to you guys about. And first things first being the gaming Gladiators. While you guys may or not like them or otherwise, obviously this was kind of the first team that really took advantage of the import situation and tried to bring people over to their region to go and compete. And while some may like or dislike that, it was actually really important for the growth of the space and to provide competition to the other APAC team in Elevate. The benefit of this is actually made the region improve as a whole, and you can kind of see that through the results at the World Championship, even most recently, where Maxu, Virtuoso, and Though were able to take a game and actually keep it relatively close. It was no longer a 6-0 blowout every single game. It was actually pretty competitive. Now, for the business behind this, obviously Gladiators would love to be in Rocket League and have kind of pushed through and have been rather resilient despite not being able to utilize their own sponsorship. For those that don't know, Gladiators is actually the organization, but gaming is a company that focuses on some stuff that Psyonix/Epic don't really like. And because of that, they have never really been able to brand their stuff to the same pedigree that others can. Talking like G2 Stride, the General NRG, GenG Mobile One Racing. They would like to also incorporate that into their jerseys, in-game decals, stuff like that, but they haven't been able to. And because of that, financially, it's actually really difficult for Gladiators to really push forward to the degree that they want to. I talked to their owner, Nick, a little bit about this, and you can tell that there's definitely some frustrations because they have been pretty much single-handedly trying to push forward the APAC region and do things the right way with imports. But they do have to take a step back, and it's unfortunate that we may miss out on one of these organizations supporting some of these minor regions that we desperately need. So kind of a sad one to see go because of the efforts. They always took care of the guys, like marketing everything pretty well, and they never had any complaints. They paid well, so kind of a tough loss. I hope they come back if things and conversations start to go and transition the other way, but as for now, I think it's going to be SOL for the Gladiators, which is pretty rough. What that means for the team itself, I don't know if they're going to stick together because it was definitely a financial thing that really helped them compete the way that they did. I wouldn't be surprised if this team disbands, unfortunately, even though they are great representation for their region. Up next, we've got one that's going to be tough to read. I'm not even going to waste your time trying to translate this. TLDR, what is going on right now is there is a organization by the name of Geekay Esports. If you guys don't know GK, they are like one of the biggest like toy manufacturers and distributors over in the Eastern countries and in the Middle East. They have a lot of stuff with like food and candy, and like they're very well funded, and they are trying to dip their toes into Rocket League more specifically. And basically what this translates to is they are trying to rebuild with up and comers from the MENA region, as well as a veteran talent from either NA or EU or something to that degree. My opinion on the whole situation is they're probably going to look to that Team Rock team. If you guys aren't familiar with Dr. No and Nish, or I forget the names exactly, but they're basically a bunch of 14-year-olds that decided to come together, kind of like the Saudi version of the Snowmen and Ops. Yeah, thank you chat. But like very talented young players that when you look at their results, actually, they did pretty dang good. Tail end of the season, so Dr. Known, Ops, and Nush. So I did have it right. At the tail end of the season, like, they were making top 8s and doing pretty dang well. A top 4, a top 8, and a top 4. And they were doing this with losses only to the top dogs in Falcons, like Twisted Minds. So what I assume is going to happen with that team is they are going to take 2/3 of that, try to pair it with a veteran talent that can really guide them through things. I will tell you, this team is being coached and ran by Nick, who just recently did the M80 situation. So we'll see how it goes, but it sounds like they got a pretty sizable budget and could do something really cool. Could be a competitive team and giving us a true number 2 in the MENA region behind Falcons. We've got some poor news about the Oxygen team. As you guys may have known and seen on this channel, Oxygen has been going through some issues, obviously with the dropping of the Shift Summer League before playoffs happened. We also saw some conversations around them and their creators getting released in Hootie. It just seems to be one thing after another. So because of that, this does not come to a surprise that immediately after the World Championship, Oxygen is now all free agents. So Oski, their star player, in my opinion, is the one that ends up putting this out. Arguments towards Joyo as well. But yeah, Oxygen leaving the scene. Is it going to be full-time? Is it going to be temporary? We do not know. But it's saying, hey, the boys are free agents heading into next season. Based upon conversations that I've had publicly, it sounds like Joyo has made it on his stream public that the guys have full intentions of sticking together. So while all three of them are fantastic free agents, it looks like Oski, Joyo, and Archie are going to be sticking together and not disbanding going into this like 3-4 month off season. We've got some more information over in North America / Europe where we saw some rumors come out, but it has been made official. GenG has said that Jack is able to go and explore things as a free agent. So for Jack, if he is a unrestricted free agent, that means no buyout, which means his content creation, which is extremely valuable to organizations. You see him be a wonderful spokesperson for GenG. You see him in all the photo shoots and all that stuff for merch. Jack, to me, is like a hidden gem of this community. He is absolutely fantastic across the board for the value that he provides to an organization. So I assume someone would want to scoop him up. But he is willing to explore both EU and NA. If I was Jack, I assume he's going to want to go back to EU. But he's probably going to take a pretty massive pay cut and a downgrade in quality of teams. It just is a matter of what happens to open up. I've heard many a rumor about what's going to happen in EU. And with BDS winning, maybe that changes some things. But I expect Vitality to make a change. Maybe Gentlemates. I don't know. K-Corp is very likely to make a change if I had to guess. I expect EU to be completely falling apart, and they're going to have to pick up the pieces and figure out how things go. Because, yeah, I do not know what is going to happen. I don't know what he's going to end up getting into or being a part of. But you never know. Maybe a thing like Dignitas opens up and provides an opportunity. As the rumors right now is Dignitas looking to be building around Stizzy. What that means for Arsenal, what that means for Evo, we do not know. But rumors right now are pointing that a rebuild around Stizzy with Violent Panda seems most likely, as they're open to imports both NA and EU. Whether they stay in NA or if they go over to EU and Stizzy is allowed to move back home, who knows? I can tell you right now it's kind of a weird mix because Violent Panda, while living in EU, is slowly getting his visa finalized. I think he's had it approved and he's getting ready to move into North America, into the West Coast with his wife. But whether that'll happen anytime soon or not, I don't know. My assumption is Dig would want to be close to headquarters where they are currently. Who knows? They've got some facilities on the West Coast in LA. They've also got their home base in New Jersey, ironically, where we ran the World Championship in Season 7. So there is going to start to see a lot of changes coming in the following weeks, the following months with roster changes. 2 tournaments coming up. We've got Saudi E-League, so you may see some iterations of that for GK. We've got Flip and Spin qualifiers coming up as well. There's already 3 teams invited in Vitality, BDS, and K-Corp. I don't know if Gentlemates declined the invite or just haven't accepted it yet, but qualifiers start next week, Tuesday on the 24th, and those will go every week until I think the main event is like October 25th is when I think they play in person at Paris Games Week. So a lot of different iterations, a lot of different teams we're going to see up and coming. I expect you guys to keep your eyes out over the next few weeks because you are going to see likely some new iterations sign up pretty aggressively. So with that in mind, teams are going to be taking vacations. Players are going to be taking some time off before they get back into it. So we may have to sit and wait, but that is where we're at in the current moments. If you guys have any additional questions, comments, concerns, stop by the stream, twitch.tv/Lawler. Let me know in the comments down below or check out that roster doc in the description. And while you're down there, be kind. Let me know how you guys feel about everything. Hit like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Helps me out immensely. And we'll see you in the next video. Peace.